Hi, my name is Stephen Rafferty, and you are watching These Are Questions. This is the internet show where I ask people questions about things, life, and such not. And today, I am with the man behind the sound and the music behind the background music for our interviews with These Are Questions. Please welcome Domverde. Dom, welcome to the show.
Appreciate that, Stephen.
How you doing?
I'm cool. I'm excited. Had a good day so far.
That's good. I mean, what better way to spend your day with me on These Are Questions? So before I get into the show itself, let me explain the rules of the show. The rules goes as follows. I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are going to be based around your career and aspirations, along with a mixture of questions that are going to be borderline idiotic and, well, randomly stupid. You may answer them as you may please. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay. So, Dom, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Internet, are you ready? I'm going to take that as yes. With that, let's begin. So first off, I want to say thank you for providing your sound and your expertise on the show and providing the background music for the interviews. I really appreciate it there. So I wanted to ask you, how did it all start for you? How did you get into beat making and making sounds and doing all that?
So it's actually very funny. Before I was 12 years old, I had no clue about beats, hip-hop, rap, anything like that. I was actually into only classical music, and I was being trained to be a classical piano player. And I had a very memorable trip to Rhode Island with my cousin. And I remember I was in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, which is where I was born. Actually, Providence, Rhode Island. And I begged her every day to come and pick me up so I could go to her house because, you know, she was fun. She had the computer with the fast internet. So on those rides to her house, she would put me on to hip hop. She put me on an Outkast initially. She put me on to some Jay-Z, and it was just mind blowing. And ever since then, I had such a deep appreciation for instrumentals and producers.
Very cool, very cool, very cool. Let me ask you, are you a fire truck or bulldozer?
I am definitely a bulldozer. Since I was much younger, I've been known to destroy things, so.
Well, that's what bulldozers do. That's their job. They destroy things. Cool. I don't know. Even sometimes the stupid questions I ask are just stupid. So, anywho though, can you get a little bit about the process of doing your beats, of creating them? Like what software you use, how you get into it?
I use FL Studio. A lot of producers would know what that is. I've been using that since the beginning. I was actually initially very scared to get into the program because I downloaded it. Every time I opened it, saw all these buttons and saw all these windows, and I was just like, this is just too much. So after a year of having the program, I just said, forget it. I think 2 summers ago, I just dived into the program and loved it ever since. And I try to make my process with making beats as organic as possible, stress-free. Whatever comes to mind, try it out. So it's pretty much like a try and fail type situation, and whatever I get out of that, you know, maybe 20-30 minutes is the final product.
Okay. Simple kind of.
Simplicity is key.
Okay. Going with the flow. Is there a specific style you like to work on for your sounds? Do you like doing more chill hop music, more trap, more heavy stuff, more hip hop influence? Is there like one that you really enjoy doing, like a certain style?
So I love all music. I love all styles. Currently I'm dabbling in, you know, the trap and the more trendy type music, what the kids around 15, 16-year-olds would be into.
Oh yeah, damn kids. Kids these days, you meddling kids.
Shout out the youth.
Meddling kids.
So just dabbling with that, trying to get my grasp on that sound, and then I'll jump onto the next sound and just keep on evolving from there. Okay,
so just a variety. You don't have necessarily a preference. You just go on what you...
Trying my best not to box myself in. So my goal is definitely to just test, you know, as many avenues as possible.
Very cool. Okay. Very simple enough. Who would win a tennis match? Urkel from Family Matters or Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Carlton all day because, you know, he's already has the preppy swag, so he probably took a tennis lesson in his lifetime, you know? So definitely Carlton for sure.
Okay, simple enough. Okay, that's the age-old question.
With he had the vest and the short pants. He already had the swag and everything. Yeah, Carlton for sure.
Besides being a beat maker and a sound expert, you're also an artist, and you do a variety of different art pieces. So I wanted to ask you, which is your current favorite piece that you've done so far, and which piece was the most challenging?
So my favorite piece would probably have to be a piece I did in charcoal, 18 by 24, and that was titled Guidance. I love that piece. Yeah. Most challenging would also be that piece because I was definitely jumping around with ideas for probably the longest. But besides that, pieces are usually not really challenging for me. Art is more of a very therapeutic, enjoyable journey. So, you know, probably it was just challenging coming up with the idea.
Okay. And then how long have you been doing artwork?
So art is definitely my first love. I actually got into art first, and that was probably for as long as I can remember. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so just like very from a young age and just now.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. I mean, hey, kudos to you. Mm-hmm. Is there a specific venture you want to do in the future? Like, is there a specific collaboration? This could be sound or art or in general, but is there a specific venture you want to do? Is there a type of artwork you want to work on, like art style? What do you want to do next?
So with art and with beats, you know, I'm very open-minded because I have such a deep appreciation for craft and craft in general. So, but with art, one of my biggest goals is to do a mural. I definitely want to do like a Wynwood, Miami type style mural. That's a big goal.
Okay, Wynwood, Miami. He has artwork. He has some cool stuff. If you want to check him out, you can. You know, we'll put the links in the description. We'll talk to your agents if you have agents or the company. See if something could happen.
Let's make something work.
Yeah, you never know. You never know where this video or just where you're gonna be in your career in the future. Things change in the constant. And that's what I've learned. So, and speaking of learning, I wanted to ask you, do you have any advice, and this can be in sound or in art or anything that you do, that you want to give to the viewers watching and listening today?
The biggest advice I could give would be to find what you love. Take your time finding what you love, but once you find that, make sure you do that every day as much as you can. You only get better, you know, when you're dabbling in your craft, and never give up. You know, that as cliche as it might sound, you know, the OGs say it all the time, but it's very true. Never give up.
Simple and effective. My last question to ask you is, if you had a chance to collab with a comic book character or a superhero in that kind of regard, or a villain, whatever your preference is, who would you collab with, and what would you collab with them?
Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory.
Okay.
He's a very, very smart individual. I definitely push him to use his brilliance to probably solve some, you know, I don't know, some good, you know, solve a big problem in the world that we have in society, because, you know, he was a smart fellow.
He was a very smart guy. He had his own lab in his was it closet or whatever?
That was his room, man.
It was his room, yeah. I'm so bad. It's like I should know my 90s characters and my 90s TV shows.
I think you're better than me, but I remember Dexter being quite a witty young fellow, and I know that he could use that brain power to do some pretty good things.
Mm-hmm. You can make a Dexter trap beat.
I think I have actually.
Oh, you have? Oh. Well, if you have done it, I'll link it down in the description with all of your works. But if you haven't, then that could be an idea in the future. Could be. Look at the time in my invisible watch that I don't have. Our time has ended, my friend.
Well, it's been a pleasure, man. And I just wanted to say a huge shout out to my guy Steven, because if you guys don't already know, he's been doing this for a long time. It's been inspiring seeing his growth, seeing all the different projects he's been working on. So it's such a pleasure to be able to finally collab with him. You know, this is one of the OGs for me, and inspiration for me to keep on going. So yeah, this has been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. You didn't have to plug me in there. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. I really do appreciate that. And it's been a long time coming. We've known each other for a long time, and we've always tried to do some sort of a collaboration, but it never happened until today. So I'm just glad that we had a chance to do this and we're actually making something together. And hopefully this is the first of many to come.
Big facts, big facts.
Yes. So with that in mind, you have been watching These Are Questions episodes. Well, actually, there's only one more episode left for the season. So this is it for season 1. One more episode coming out next week, next Monday. You know the time, you know the schedule, you know it by now if you've been watching this season so far. So stay tuned because we got one more exciting episode of the greatest show ever. Well, my words, not anyone else's words, but a great show in itself. Another riveting episode, the last episode of the season for These Are Questions. Good night and have a good one. Or good morning, depending on when you're watching.
Buenos dias, buenas noches.
Konnichiwa.
Swag.